Now we start to learn generative shape design. So let's close this assembly design mode, and uh, when you start click on start here. Now in your case, also in your case, you have here generative shape design pinned as favorites, but generative shape design module is placed here on shape, and here generative shape design. Okay, so there is another similar module which is called wireframe and shape design, or surface design. Sorry, I'm sorry. So which is placed here in mechanical design, and it is this one, wireframe and surface design. Okay, if you open this wireframe and surface design, you will have once again this kind of window opened, and click on OK, and you will start to work with the part 1, and you will have here uh, exactly these tools you can see in generative shape design mode. Okay, so these two modules, I mean generative shape design and wireframe and surface design, which is placed in mechanical design, are absolutely similar. Absolutely similar. So you can use this one or this one, it doesn't matter. But it is mm, uh, okay for us. I don't know, for me especially, to use this one, generative shape design. Okay, so uh, if you open generative shape design mode, uh, probably you know you have a different toolbars, which are this one. Okay, so the most important toolbars here are this one, first of all, this one, and this one. Okay, let's rotate them like this into horizontal position like this. Okay, and we can see their names. So the first one is named wireframe. The second one is named surfaces, and the third one is named operations. Actually, I would tell you that this toolbar, wireframe, I mean a part of this toolbar, already exists also in part design mode here, which is this one, which is called reference elements. As you can see here in reference elements, we have a point, a line, and a plane. Let's switch into generative shape design mode. I can use once again use hotkeys like this. Okay, and as you can see here in wireframe toolbar, I have point, line, and a plane. And additionally, there are another tools like projection, uh, intersection, uh, parallel curve, circle, spline, and so on. Okay, let's switch back into part design mode like this, and try to place a point, and this in part design mode. Okay, if I click here on a point, I have this kind of window opened. Okay, I have here an option related to point type, and if I open here, I have a lot of methods to create a point, which is the first one, creating a point by coordinates on a curve, on a plane, on a surface, and so on. Okay, I just cancel it and switch back into generative shape design mode. And here, once again, I try to place a point by clicking here on this icon. And as you can see, exactly the similar window is opened. Once again, if I click on this menu next to point type, I have a lot of methods uh, creating points by coordinates, on a curve, on a plane, on a surface, on a circle, tangent on curve, between uh, two two elements. Okay, so let's start from creating a point by coordinates. As you can see here, on your screen, there is a point is already created, but it is not placed yet. If I click on OK, the point is placed, and this point's coordinates are 0 by x, 0 by y, 0 by z. It is already created. If I change its coordinates, I just double click on this point here, or I open my tree of specification and double click on the point 1 and reopen this window, okay, and change its coordinates. Let's say the coordinates of my point are by x is 100, by y is also 100, and by z is also 100. Okay, and a point is created somewhere here like this. Okay, so there is a difference between these tools in wireframe toolbar and these tools in the reference elements toolbar of part design. So I have here only one option of creating a point, only one option of creating a line, and only one option of creating a plane. But in the model of generative shape design, in the toolbar of wireframe, I have uh, another methods of creating a point other than this. If I click a little arrow on the right bottom side of this icon, I can open another methods of creating a point, and also I have another methods of creating a line, and I have another methods of creating a plane or planes. Okay, actually these are not methods of creating plane, line, or point. Let's say in this case, this second icon is about repeating existing points. In this case, under in tools about tools under the line icon, there is an option of creating an axis and polyline. And here I have an option to repeat planes or create planes between some planes. Okay, so let's look at the first icon. So click on point. So we have already created a point using coordinates, and I'm going to show you an option to creating a point on a curve. Okay, so if I select on curve, a window is changed. Okay, comparing to this, creating a point by coordinates. So here I need to select a curve or a line. So line can be a curve. Okay, let's cancel it here. Let's cancel it here, and I'm gonna show you one another important point other than other these options. I have also an option to create lines or any contour using sketch, like in part design mode, like this. Okay, so let's switch back to generative shape design. So let's create a sketch on any plane, let's say on XY plane, like this, and create an arc using this arc icon somewhere here, like this. You already know how to create this. You already know how to use Sketcher. Okay, so I guess you shouldn't have any questions about this module. I mean, about Sketch. Okay, so let's say I have this kind of sketch and this kind of arc, which is in general a curve, and click on point icon, and I'm gonna try to create a point on this curve somewhere. So as a curve, I'm gonna select this one, this sketch. Okay, and as you can see here, if I move my mouse, software is finding a point on a curve which I can select. Okay, and this side is a 0 point of a curve, and another side is a last point of my curve. So on this window, I can type any number. Let's say 100, 100. Let's say which is gonna be the distance between this point and this created point, and the distance is uh, a length of this part of my arc. Okay, not this line, but a length of my arc or curve. Okay, if I click on OK here, so the point on this curve is created, and the distance between this point and this point through this arc is 100, as I said before. So let's try to create a point using another method. Click on a point once again, and I select here on plane. So as you probably understand, to create a point on this by using this method, I need a plane. Maybe this one, maybe this one, maybe this one. In my case, right now I have only 3 planes, which are XY plane, YZ plane, and ZX plane. Okay. So let's select as a base plane, select ZX plane. Okay. And as you can see here, the software is trying to select select a point on this plane, okay? And as you can see here, we can use a coordinates which are in this case not x and y but h and v. The coordinates um, by horizontal and the coordinate by vertical, okay, like this. Let's create like this. The coordinates by h by horizontal is 50 and by v is also 50, like this, and click on OK, like this. Okay, so I have created now a point here which is placed on this zx plane. Okay, so if we try, okay, let's look at another method of creating a point. After on a plane, we have a option to creating a point on a surface. Okay, let's create on part design mode. On part design mode, something like, let's say, a cylinder. Okay, I'm gonna create an arc like this. This is a contour, and I just close this contour using this profile line. Okay, so now my contour is closed, and exit sketch workbench and create a path using this sketch. Let's say its length is 200 and period extent. Let's continue. So I have here now a cylinder, and this side of cylinder is a surface, as you probably know. This side is a surface, and this side is also a surface, but it is also a plane. And this side is also a plane and a surface, and this side is also a plane and a surface. Okay, but this side, this side, this one cannot be a plane. It is only a surface. Let's make into generative shape design. Okay, I have here a surface, and I'm gonna create a point on this surface. Click on point icon here and select on a point type on a surface like this. So as a surface, I'm gonna select this surface. Okay, and and I can click any point here. First of all, I just type, let's say, distance, distance, and here I can select a direction. Okay, if I right click on components, I can select one of these options. I can create a line, I can create a plane, or I can just select X component, Y component, or Z component. Let's select X component like this, X component. And now the point is created on 100 millimeter distance. And this line between this point and this point is X axis, this one. Okay, I just click on OK, and like this I can create a point on a surface. Okay, I think this method of creating a point, I mean the creating a point of on a surface, is not so important. You can just you should just know that there is a method like this, a method of creating a point on a surface, but I think we never use this method. Okay, so continue. So let's now clear this pad 1. I just select my pad on tree of specification and just uh, push delete button. Okay, like this. So I have here an arc, a point created on an arc, and another point, and so on. So okay, so let's look at the creating a line. Okay, if I click on a line, you will have opened this kind of window, so which is called line definition, and there are uh, options to create a line. If I click here on a menu next to line type, I have also a lot of methods of creating a line, which are first one point to point. I mean, in this case, I should select 2 points. So the line is created between 2 points. The second one is point and direction. So I select first point and direction, angle normal to curve, tangent to curve, and normal to surface and bisecting, like this. So let's look at the first option of creating a line, which is point to point. So in my case here, I have already created 1, 2, 3 points. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna create a line between this point and this point here, like this, between this point and origin. Okay, uh, once again click on a line, so I can click origin point here because it is already created on a sketch. I just click here, one point, it is selected here as origin, and select another point which is selected as a point 1, and if I just click on OK, the line is created. Okay, and try to understand, this line is created on generative shape design mode, not on sketch. It is created on generative shape design mode, and the line is also created on my tree of specifications. Okay, so this arc is created inside of this sketch. Okay, so once again try to open line definition, and let's create another line between this point and another point, which coordinates are somewhere, I don't know, it is not created yet. So I can cancel it and create a point before starting to create a line, or I can click on a line and create a point right here by right clicking on this no selection next to point 2 or next to point 1, doesn't matter. If I right click here, there is an option of creating a point, and I can create a point, let's say by coordinates. by coordinates. Let's say the coordinates of my new uh, point is gonna be minus 100 by x somewhere here, and 50 by z and 100 by y. Okay, and click on OK. So the point is already created, and I just click on OK, something like this. Okay, and if I go to line 2, which is this line on my 3 specifications, and open this line 2 definition by clicking on plus on the left side of this line 2, there is a point 0.5 inside this line 2, and which is hidden. Okay, I which means I have created this point 0.5 inside this line 2, but I can just right click on point 0.5 and show it, okay, like this.